Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Has everyone had a compliment today from someone?
Yes.
Yes.
Not a lot of yeses. All right. Real quick, 2 seconds. Turn to the person to your left or your right and say, "It's a plum pleasing pleasure to meet someone as phenomenal as you." Yes, now you've all gotten your compliment for the day. So I first of all have to thank Carolyn, and I gotta thank Lisa too. Where's Lisa Chawanski? I gotta thank her too, because you know what? I found out about this honor through LinkedIn. So for those of you who have issues with social media, get over it. Thank God I pay attention to my social media. I am so thankful and grateful. It came as quite a surprise and a shock. I want to also say congratulations to my fellow honorees. Ladies, I'm so proud of you. My girl over there, Marilyn Grabowski, I remember when she first came and was introduced to me by Marge Perry, who took her under her wing. And I said, yeah, she's gonna be one of mine too. You know, it was really exciting to see that. I didn't think anybody knew all the stuff I did when I was working in construction. But let me share some things with you. Today, I'm president of Stephanie Speaking. It's a speaking company. I do inspirational business development speaking, training, and business navigating. I navigate small minority women and veteran business owners as they traverse through government contracting. I help them to transform their frustration, fear, frustration, and confusion into faith, focus, and clarity while I navigate them step by step through the process. I also work with women business owners and professionals in an area that I call thought therapy. Because see, when we change our thoughts, we change our lives. Because what we think and speak, we reap. In other words, everything you speak, everything you think and speak, you manifest. Because words and thoughts are things. Think about that. Everything in this room, ceiling tiles, lighting, woodwork, everything was a thought and then a word. And then it became reality. What I'm doing today didn't just start. I've been doing it for a very long time. But back in 1980, anybody remember 1980? Were you all born then? Because back in 1980, I was blessed to be given an opportunity to work for a company called, at that time, Gannett Fleming Cordray & Carpenter. You may know it now, strictly Gannett Fleming. And it was all through the network. And so I'll tell you this, in terms of networking, understand the power behind that. I've only had 2 jobs, and they were part-time that I found through the paper. Every contract, every job has come through the network. It's come through my network and other people's networks. Even going so far as back when I was in high school, through the network. So learn how to really work it. I wrote a book on dating your business prospect back in 2014, and in 2015, I made it an audio book. So if you'd like to know more about that, hit me up at www.stephaniespeaking.com. Well, let me just share this with you. When I went to Gannett Fleming, I went there, I didn't have any idea. I was just working for the project manager on one of the largest projects at that time, was the re-electrification and rehabilitation of the North Jersey coastline and Erie Lackawanna. See, transit wasn't even in place then. We were working directly for DOT. And I was just going to be the assistant to this project manager until later in that year, a gentleman came from DOT and told them, you have to monitor the Minority Business Enterprise Program and the Labor Force Program, because these were federal funds. And the person that they were assigning it to was the accountant. And I knew him well. He was a dear friend of the family, and again, that job was through the network. Hello. And he came to me one day and sat down and said, look, I'm an accountant. I don't do this minority business contract compliance stuff. I'm getting you promoted and you're going to do it. What he didn't know at the time, and I had no clue of, was how it would change my entire life. The trajectory totally changed. The shift was immense. And the rest of my life has been about empowering others and helping them to get to the table. So it started out, I was working with African American firms and later on other types of firms, Hispanic firms, Asian firms, you name it, they were coming to the fore, all under the guise of minority business enterprises, to ensure that they had their seat at the table, that they were out there doing the work, that they were really performing the work, they were in charge, and that they were hiring in accordance with the labor laws at the time, especially under the feds. So we had to monitor both the labor force and the companies out there. Now imagine, ladies, 1980. Who else was in construction then? Imagine there you go, Norma Temple, one of my supporters, I love her. Imagine being at a table with some of the largest contractors in the tri-state area in 1980. And you're 25 years old, 5 feet strong, daughter of a Marine who raised you like one of the troops. I didn't think anything of it. I went to the meetings that they called, sat down at the table with all of them, but that first meeting was a big shock for me. So for those of you who are facing trials and tribulations as you're working in I'm not even gonna say this is a man's world, because we're changing it really fast and hard. Right, ladies? Yeah, we're on top of this. But at that time, it was a man's world. And what I had to hear at that table, my jaw dropped. And the little North girl in me, that's North New Jersey, where we are today, came up, rose up from to the top of my head. Because every single thing you can think of in terms of racism and feminism, and speaking against women and all other races, was loud and clear. It was like I wasn't at that table. And I didn't know what I was going to do at first. I was like, okay, you can't cuss them out, Stephanie. Be cool, because you're too little and they too old. And big. Okay? You can't do that. However, I went to my source. While my blood was boiling, and I was working hard at keeping a poker face, I'm not really good at that. But I went to my source and asked, what in the world am I supposed to do? And I was told, be still. Learn everything you can about this industry from them. I got the rest. And in the 4th month that I went to that table, because I still had to keep hearing this stuff, and I would do my little report, but I wasn't getting cooperation. But that month number 4, I believe it was, the biggest influence of all the influencers at the table said, gentlemen, you need to be careful of what you're saying here. And Ms. Burroughs, tell us what you need from us. Not Stephanie, but Ms. Burroughs. And I want you all to comply and make sure that your staff does what she says. I was going to fall out. It was like, what? But he kept his promise. He said, I got the rest. The change took place. I got cooperation from then on. But that wasn't all, ladies. You know, when I went on to work for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and I was back in the Office of Business and Job Opportunity, I moved from Human Resources into that. The same thing I had to put up with from the engineers. I guess they were just trying to see, when can we get her off of this job? When can we get her to go back in the office? But I stayed and I lived in the field with them. Until the day came when they started calling me saying, we need your help. We need you to come to this meeting. I went to every single meeting you could possibly think of. I beat up my contractors. Yes, I did. My minority contractors for acting stupid and not doing the right things and teaching them exactly what to do and how to do it. Oh my gosh, I've had so many experiences, but they've all been great. And I thank my dad for being that Marine who raised this 5-foot strong woman like I was one of the troops. Because I never questioned what I was doing. When they walked in places that I couldn't quite keep up, so I had to run and jump and do whatever it took to keep up with those engineers who took me out in the field and had me in places where, you know, inside I was quivering, but I never let them see me sweat. But today I get a chance to help women and men, minorities, women, small, veteran business owners, to overcome the negative thoughts, the things that hold you back from your greatness. Because I've already been through it. I've been through the fight. And I came out unscathed. So I'm Stephanie D. Burroughs, president of Stephanie Speaking, where we inspire, impact, and inform. Thank you all so much for this wonderful honor. But I must say, we got real quick. Jan Walden, Melissa Oliver, Laura Tishman, awesome women who have been massive impacts in my life. Thank you all. Oh, that's the 10 minutes up. I had 1 second to spare. Okay, stop. Okay, it doesn't.
So thank you, Stephanie, for that wonderful speech. And Stephanie has fought for a lot of us in that room, and Stephanie was instrumental in Almacy Company's, my company, getting their first project at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, Meadowlands Stadium. So thank you, Stephanie. And now she will work out. 1, 2.